treat you good. I had never heard of MusiCares or this event until Bob Forrest reached out to me and asked me to host it. And I think Bob Forrest is great. I've known him for quite a while. I said yes right away. And then the point person, whatever, reached out to me about the details. Said, "Oh, this is going to be great, a sober concert." And I just thought, because my reaction was, rock and roll concerts, right, should have alcohol. I shouldn't drink it.
Right? But
I don't want to be I don't want to be like Nikki Sixx says, Sobo Cop,
right,
telling everybody, no, you can't have, And I remember, when I first saw that, I was trying to figure out, dude, do I reach out to Bob Forrest and say, hey, imposing sobriety on an event isn't what I'm all about, and I don't know about it. I was going to back out, I was going to back out just because, just because I shouldn't drink doesn't mean that a whole rock concert shouldn't be allowed to have alcohol.
Yeah.
But before I did that, I reached out to some people who I respect, and they, I got different reactions. But the first guy reached out, he said, "Hell no, don't do that. Don't be a part of that. That's not, But then somebody, I don't want to say someone I respect more, but somebody who's more really involved in the entertainment industry, he said, "Oh, no, absolutely, music." Basically, people who are in recovery who I have a great deal of respect for vouched for MusiCares, and the more and more, I'm so glad that I didn't back out. Yeah. I really, really am, because it turns out that it's a majorly awesome thing, and why not go and help people pay for chemical dependency treatment and residency in sober living facilities.
Right.
If it weren't for rehab and for psych wards, rehabs, halfway houses, I wouldn't be here.
And they wouldn't be here either.
by all measures, man, my life was saved by extended. I stayed in a halfway house environment. I remained in sober living until I had 2 full years of sobriety, and I don't know if that is really, did I need to be there that long? I don't know. I know that when I felt the most antsy to get out of there, I gotta get out of here, it was when I needed to be there the most. Mm-hmm. And when I wasn't really antsy to get out of there, I was perfectly comfortable. I remember my time in sober living very, very fondly. I had a roommate, and thank God he snored. I knew what it was cool to jack off. Because if I couldn't jack off in peace, I might not have stuck around. Right. Yeah, but I loved the halfway house, especially for a guy like me, notoriety aside, just lack discipline, man, I never thought I stood a chance of long-term sobriety, because I have no fucking discipline, man. And to be, I was just somehow blessed, and I don't know how, but blessed with the willingness. I think what it was I stayed sober long enough, and I did some of these things that were suggested, and that caused the fog to clear enough for me to realize what a total D-bag I had become, Yeah. And I was just so horrified to really get a sense of what I had become, that I just became desperate to change, and along with that came the willingness to put myself in a really structured halfway house environment where I had to be up at 9 a.m. with my bed made, or I'd be written up. I had to, home by curfew. I had to do my chores. I had to pee into a plastic cup twice a week at random. And all of this stuff, saved my life, man.
What was your vice? I know booze. Is it what wasn't your vice?
What was your vice? I had a line, okay.
Yeah.
I never did heroin or crack. And that's it. I was never really into crystal meth, but I never turned it down. Mm-hmm. And other than that, I did everything. What did I love? I loved so many drugs. I can't even tell you which one's my favorite. I always loved nitrous oxide, PCP. Huge fan of PCP. I love ketamine. Stuff that just like messes you up so bad. I loved cocaine, man. I had a huge hole in my nose. I can thread it with a shoelace. Today, my biggest problem is the being mean to myself in my head. I have this like constant dialogue going on, like, oh, like you're this, you're that, and I just need to learn how to let the thoughts that I have that are negative, about, because I think negative things about myself constantly, and it just ruins day after day.
Yeah.
And I have to learn how to let these thoughts pass and really get more involved and engaged and really work helping other people, and that.
The public out there and a lot of people watching this, know you as this guy, right? This persona,
Sure.
the jackass dude, right? And with a lot of comedians, a lot of funny people, they're really the darkest people that you'll ever meet.
Right.
And is it hard for you, like when you're walking through the halls here and and people know you're coming in and everyone lights up and they're like, oh yeah, fuck, Steve-O's coming in, but it's hard, right?
Well, I mean, I think I never had any separation between Steve-O and like whoever I am. It was always just nonstop. And even the guys in Jackass, it'd be like, we would film our crazy stuff, and then we'd be kind of finished, put away the cameras, like go, and I would say, they'd be like, dude, stop, okay? Like, stop, we're not, like I never knew how to turn it off, and I was just so like caught up in it, and I think for me, recovery is so largely about finding separation between this Steve-O character and like who I am,
Who are you?
Yeah, it's a great question, man. It's a great question. I think I'm just a really sick guy. I'm a really sick guy just trying to get well. But
I mean, what are the things that you love the most about yourself?
I think what I love I think that certainly at the end of my run with drugs and alcohol, like I had become like a really nasty, mean-spirited person. I never had a problem with stapling my balls to my leg. That was never like my thing. And like it wasn't. What it was that I could not make it through a day without doing like any number of horrible things that brought about regret and humiliation and shame and just like, I mean, I would like deliberately try to like hurt people's feelings, to damage their reputations. I would go out and like, I think that the way that we treat others is a reflection of how we feel about ourselves. And my self-esteem and my self-worth, my opinion of myself was driven down like so low that I really had nothing nice to say or do towards others. And I became this like nasty person, and like I couldn't just control it. And that, today I'm really sure. I mean, that's distinctly not who I am, like, and that's why I had to make these drastic changes, and I had to really, sort of rebuild the way that I feel about myself and the way that, through the way I act towards others. And ultimately, what do I like about myself? I'm not inclined to try to hurt people's feelings, like I find more and more that I don't know, I care about being nice to people, and I think that makes my life a lot better.
Everyone talks about bottom. Was there an actual bottom for you?
I would say that my bottom came when I was sober for about 100 days. I had done some work that was suggested, insofar as analyzing, my behavior in the past, and with a little bit of work on that and about 100 days of sobriety, the fog cleared enough for me to see with clarity like what a douchebag I had become, and I felt like I couldn't be forgiven. I couldn't forgive myself. I was just a bad person, and I just, more of me thinking about me, and I just got like all in the pity pot, and I'm such a bad person, and I wound up telling some friends that I felt like I wanted to kill myself. I hate myself so much. I think that was really the bottom. Mm-hmm. That was the bottom for me, and I wound up checking into psych ward number 2 with 100 days of sobriety.
Was that at Cedars?
Cedars was psych ward number 1. Okay. Los Encinas Hospital in Pasadena was psych ward number 2.
Who's got the better room?
Cedars psych ward was sort of a hospital meets jail. Yeah. And the Los Encinas one was more a hospital meets country club.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people are like, when you're checking yourself in a psych ward, is that full on straight jacket action?
No, like it's full on doors don't open from the side you're on. Okay, yeah. What's up, everybody? I'm Steve-O, and you're watching Rockerrazzi.com.
Well, I treat you good.